Hey, I'm Lee Kellogg, and thank you for joining me today. I'm thrilled that you're here on our little nature exploration. Today we are going to go explore juniper trees, and that's actually the trees that are behind me here. And there are junipers all over New Mexico, Arizona, all the Southwest states, Texas, the Intermountain US states, and they produce massive clouds of pollen. So these are juniper trees. These two that you see ahead of you are quite rusty colored. That is the pollen buds. These are the male trees. They're releasing their pollen right now and giving us all just like massive allergies. And this is actually true throughout the South and the West. Texas has their cedar trees, which are in the same family. And then all over the West, especially the Great Basin, Intermountain West, are juniper trees. And there's always male and female trees. And the males are the ones that release the massive amounts of pollen that just get into our nose and our eyes and make your eyes itch, make you sneeze and nose run. Male trees are actually greener right now and produce, these are the berries, the juniper berries, and they produce these are last year's berries, and they will produce another crop this year. So their little buds, their little flower receptacles are right up here at the tip of the needles, and they're super hard to see. They're tiny, just tiny little openings along the branch there. So it's just sort of interesting how all that pollen, this massive clouds of pollen, end up producing these little berries. And yes, these are the same juniper berries that get put into gin and that sort of thing. Here's a close-up of the male trees where the pollen is produced. These little russety cones make the trees appear russet colored this time of year. They turn orangey, almost brown red in the spring. And eventually the cones that produce the pollen will be done producing pollen, and they will drop off. So let's go sketch our juniper. So this is a close-up of a juniper branch, and the little yellowy brown tips you see on the end of the final end of the branches, those are the flowers. That's where all that massive amounts of pollen end up to make a juniper berry, which you see to the left here, sort of in the center of the screen. And I apologize for the weirdness of this image. I am actually filming through a 10x loop. And that's L-O-U-P-E, to get this image, which I didn't even know would work, but it's very cool. So close-up work, there you are. All right, I have here on my sketchbook page, these are actually real 3D pieces of our junipers, the male on the left and the female on the right. And we're gonna sketch. I'll sketch a little bit of these guys because these are sort of complicated things to sketch and record. I sort of wish my drawing looked as good as this video does, but there you go. You know, we all have those aspirations, and here we go. We'll see what I create. This is my juniper page, and this reflects both the male and female branches from the junipers that you saw in the previous video. And after a little tiny research, I've discovered that we have one seed juniper, and it's Juniperus monosperma, pardon me. And I think it's just because each flower produces one seed. Not too sure how it gets its name, but there's my page. And once again, I think I would add a range map. I think that's something I'm going to start adding to my journals because, you know, as a bird watcher and plant lover and all-around naturalist, I really like to have range maps and know where things are. And I've seen that in other journals, and I think it's just a really cool thing to add to sort of give you an overall perspective of where you see things. So there we are, juniper sketch page. So that's it for juniper trees. I hope you learned something about the one seed juniper here found in New Mexico. And notice if you're in the Southwest or the West, Intermountain West, or even in Texas, pay attention to the juniper trees. Texas, they're cedar trees, but it's the same family, Juniperus. And record them. Record the trees in your neighborhood. Watch how they change. So stay tuned, and in a few weeks I'll have a Siberian elm video up for you because I'm busy documenting the progression when they bloom, and then the seeds, and then the leaves. So we'll get that one up pretty soon too. Anyway, I'm Lee Kellogg. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Be sure to click the like below and the little bell to subscribe. If you want more, you can find more like at Nature Journaling Tours or at leekellogg.com. And be sure to subscribe for my newsletter so that you get notified when I'm sending these videos out and when I do a blog post. See you then. Happy sketching. Bye-bye.